thing is that, one of the biggest problems that the West has in dealing with the rest of the world is it can't see from the other point of view. I mean, if you're a resident of Iraq or Afghanistan or Libya or Syria, and all of the violence that is committed against your people by Western powers, and Western powers are so outraged when somebody uses violence against them, this is a time to unify. The Russian government, Vladimir Putin, has said we need a united front to take care of this scourge in Syria. We can all get together and do that, and then let the Syrian people decide what they want to do with themselves. That's a very simple, maybe simplistic formula, but it would work if there was a political will for it. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think that is the objective of the United States and the Europeans. Right now, they may be forced to deal with ISIL in a different way than before. In the past, they allowed it to thrive, or they tried to manage it. But even now, we see that the United States continues to support other extremist groups, groups that are allied to Al-Qaeda in Syria. And so does Turkey, so does Saudi Arabia. And we know that the United States is helping the Saudis repeatedly bomb Yemen day and night, selling new weapons and aiding them in these operations. So the Americans, and we know that the Saudis are working with Al-Qaeda. So the Americans are continuing criminal acts. When the Saudis bomb countries, it's okay. When it's Assad, they say he's using barrel bombs. And one of the things about Syria is that while no one likes war, but no matter how many people in Syria have died, the ultimate responsibility is with those countries that created the civil war. President Assad is an excuse. If it was killing demonstrators by Syrian police in Egypt, it was much worse after the coup on August 14th, 2013, where thousands of people were killed. No one tried to overthrow the Egyptian government. And the same is true in Turkey when they bombed their own citizens. It was because President Assad was opposed to U.S. policies in the region. And therefore, the Americans created the civil war. So President Assad, the Syrian army, has no option but to resist. And the Russian Air Force is basically bombing the extremists that the Americans and the Europeans and the regional allies have created. So no one wants war. But if we want the bombing to stop, the only way to do it is for the United States to stop supporting extremists.
Let me go to Alexander real quick.
I believe that there's more blood on Obama's hands than anyone else.
I agree with that. I want to go to Alexander right before we go to the break here. Alexander, what's really interesting, I want to comment on what Mohammed just said there. I mean,